You know, they really should have Rey have a peg leg. Peg leg Rey. Hashtag peg leg Rey. Yeah, you know, we really should make that a thing. Go on Twitter/X and hashtag peg leg Rey. And if they ask you where you got that from, send them to this channel. Hi, I'm King, and I am the king of theories. And today we'll be talking about Disney Star Wars' crazy idea to have Rey's character be the new Obi-Wan of the continuing franchise, and how crazy of an idea that sounds and is. With first up, having her have a peg leg. I know, this was a gag for the intro, but I'm honestly serious about it. I mean, when you think about it, Anakin lost an arm, got a robotic hand. Luke lost an arm, got a robotic hand. But Rey, she's a stoic, independent female main protagonist. There's no way she could lose a limb. But that's what my point is. It made it super hard to relate to a character that has artificial loss and not genuine loss that can be shown and shows that the situation she finds herself in actually has stakes. Having Luke lose a limb showed, oh, Darth Vader ain't playing no games, even though he, gets revealed to be his father. When Anakin lost a limb, and then, much later on, much more than that, it showed, yeah, you could be the main character and still get effed over. Rey didn't lose anything, and yet she took the name Skywalker. Girl, you gotta realize if you're gonna take that name, you're gonna take everything that comes with it, both the benefits and the cost. And the cost should be a limb. I feel like, having her be a girl, showing how different she is, she should lose a leg instead of an arm. And then, give her a peg leg, especially if we're doing this whole pirate stuff with Skeleton Crew. And you can't tell me Rey Skywalker with a robotic peg leg wouldn't look awesome. It would be funny, epic, especially how she would use it in battle, especially if it was kind of like a lightsaber. It would be awesome where she just like sticks it in front of someone and they're like, oh, am I supposed to be afraid of your robotic peg leg? And then she activates it and it's like a lightsaber through the eye. Bro, you would get so many Rey haters turning sides and being like, Rey's the best Star Wars character ever if they ever did a scene like that, I swear to God. But all jokes aside, no, I don't think Rey should be the new Obi-Wan character, especially with how her character was received and how Disney Star Wars would continue playing out her character. I feel she should kind of be pushed out of the way a bit for a better character to be the new Obi-Wan type, and I believe that new Obi-Wan type character should be Cal Kestis. Especially because his story took place before Luke stopped the Empire, and who knows, the third game might take place a little bit after Luke, stopping Darth Vader and Palpatine. So it's too early to say where they would want to continue Cal Kestis' story in the main live-action Star Wars franchise. But if we are doing stories after the new trilogy, I believe that would have Cal Kestis be an old man, somewhat around the same age as, old Ben Solo. So I feel like, yeah, have Cal Kestis be your Obi-Wan to train up a new Jedi apprentice. I mean, he's already been doing that, with the events of the second game, like him, like finding all of these Force-sensitive people and taking them to a sanctuary where they could be safe from the reaches of the Empire. He could already have like created a school of new Force-sensitive Jedi to combat any wicked evil of like the new trilogy's First Order or, other villainous like organizations like pirates and stuff. Plus, Cal Kestis was way better received by the Star Wars fandom. They love his video games and they love the character as a whole. So if he became like an Obi-Wan type to train up a new apprentice for like a new trilogy of movies, people would be up for it. They would be, backing it with their full support and be like, Star Wars is finally getting, good again. They're getting their senses in order. And it should be movies instead of streaming series, because with streaming shows, especially when it is Star Wars, there are always a couple of episodes that pull everything down, and it gets us fans thinking, no, this should be a movie, made shorter and tighter to make the story that much greater and give it more gravitas, instead of just us either binging through a series that had a couple of so-so episodes, or us, waiting week by week for episodes that again might be so-so and making us think, oh man, they should have just made this into a movie that we would have just been theorizing for and being in suspense for. When it finally comes out and it hopefully is good, gives us like a lot more, fuel to theorize what could be the next film or what this could lead into. Plus, with all the movie-sized budget that's going into these streaming series, it feels like Star Wars is burning through money, literally, especially when the show doesn't do well, and it makes them feel like they have to course correct everything. It really is a detriment on the franchise as a whole, and really brings down the hype or just overall fun, enthusiasm, and energy that we Star Wars fans have, making us less likely to watch the next streaming series, as seen as what happened with the Skeleton Crew. It was a lot better than The Acolyte, I can assure you of that, but ended up doing way worse when it came to like viewership, because we were all burned out after watching The Acolyte. We had no hope in the Skeleton Crew, which again is a shame because it is a really good show. So yeah, just do movies going forward with having Cal Kestis be the Obi-Wan character type for a new apprentice that, you know, doesn't hopefully have all of these OP qualities that Rey did. Like, don't make them just immediately understand the Force right away. Don't make them seem like they can't be killed, because if that's the feeling your audience gets, then they're not going to be interested in the character. You gotta have stakes. You gotta have them go through trial and error to have them actually become good characters with great character development and growth. But as for Rey, if you want to have her in there, and please don't cancel me for this, but I believe it would be your best decision to have her go the way of Obi-Wan, where she dies in a sacrificial, quick but emotional way that again adds stakes to the story. And most, you know, Star Wars fans who are a fan of comics might see this as bridging the character, but there's such a thing as being a Force ghost. And, you know, if she dies, she can just come back as a Force ghost, where she will be more powerful, because Force ghosts are more powerful in the Force, and she will be able to aid the character in ways a lot more useful than she would be alive. And I feel like it would be a way that Star Wars fans would finally be able to accept her character, because they're like, well, she won't be able to fully help the main character out of situations, you know, just having her be well, she would still be like a plot device if they kept her as a Force ghost. But what I really love about Force ghosts is they can come in and be used as like a plot device to get someone out of a situation, but they won't always be there. They'll be, you know, there to maybe give a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of information and advice, but they won't always be there. So I feel like that would be a better way to use the Rey character, especially because she wasn't well received throughout her, you know, existence. But hey, that's just me. If you have your own ideas on how they can utilize Rey, you know, put it in the comments below. But, you know, hashtag PegLegRey. If they want to keep her alive, then give that bitch a peg leg. But those are just the ideas that came to me when I heard about them wanting to make the Rey character the new Obi-Wan character type of the Star Wars universe. Again, I don't believe she should be, but that's just me. If you have your own ideas, comment it so down below. If you want to know first when a Star Wars video like this drops by me, then ring that notification bell. And please, if you haven't already, press that like button, as it helps this video get seen by a lot of Star Wars fans like yourself, and, you know, really helps this channel grow in the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, just like, share, subscribe, and follow if you really want to support this channel. And until the next Star Wars video, may the Force be with you, and stay great.